Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Nico's World. Another Tekken 8 video, and today I'm going to go over some gameplay over some large players that I have fought. Some of them are, well, most of them are kind of beginners. Some of them are a little bit better, so a little bit stronger. But I'm just going to go over some mistakes that I saw from each of them. Again, this is just purely educational. You know, just to see where or what I've seen other people do, and you know what maybe you're doing the same mistakes. It's just to help rectify those mistakes and things of that nature. So without further ado, let's get into it. Let me see here. Okay, so right now it's my Jin going against this Lars player.
Round one. Fight.
Okay, so right here, he did Lars's 1-1-1, and I talked about this in my previous video. 1-1-1 is a 10-hit string, or not 10-hit, a string, a 3-hit string that guarantees all 3 hits on counter hit. And I said that you use this string when people are just kind of dogging you, you know, mad dogging you, they're pressing too many buttons. It's kind of like a panic move in a way, I guess you could say, to get them off you and to get kind of get that counter hit. But I wasn't really doing too much here. I was kind of backing off. I was blocking. That wasn't really the best way to use that string in that situation. So I punished him with Jin's 2-4. So right here, he did Lars's back 2-1, which is the second hit is a delayable counter hit string. But he kind of just threw it out. He didn't try to delay it or anything like that. And I don't think I would, me personally, I wouldn't have used that move in that situation. And also that is punishable on block. It's -10 on block. So, and Jin's has a 10 frame, you know, his 2-4 is a 10 frame punish. So I punished him accordingly. Okay, so right there, what he tried to do is he did Lars's 2-1, his new 10 frame punish, which is an excellent new punishment that they gave him. But the problem is that he tried to do something on block with it, which is ill-advised because you're -6 if this is blocked. Not saying that I mean, you can do that. You can do something because both options crush. Both of his options from limited entry crush highs, but I checked him with you just check Lars in that situation with a down 4-1, and it beats everything, especially on block. So definitely killed him for that.
Round 2. Fight.
Yeah, so right here he just did the same thing that I just talked about. He did Lars's 2-1, and then I just did down forward 1-4 to stop him from doing something. And right here he was just pressing buttons. I think I was +10 in that situation, and I was way too plus for him to be doing anything. So I just checked him with 4-4.
Round 3. Fight.
Right here, I believe maybe this was a misinput from him, but in this situation, it was either a misinput or he just overreacted. But I'm not really sure what that was here. It could have been either or, but you know, he died for that.
Round one. Fight.
So right here, he did Lars's forward 1+2, his Arc Blast, which is -13 on block, but he actually whiffed the attack. You don't really want to whiff that attack because that doesn't have the best recovery on whiff. You definitely want to, if you're going to use that you want to use that move, you're going to want to do it from block punishment or sidestep and then do it, or something like that. But don't whiff that attack. That attack doesn't have the best recovery. Right there, he did Lars's down back 1+2 move's called Inductance. It's a very evasive mid. That move has been nerfed. It used to be a counter hit launcher, but now it just you can go into stance from it. But they also buffed it in the sense that it's not -14 anymore. It used to be, now it's -13. But in that situation, there really was no reason to use that. That move is really just to try to steal your turn back. But in that situation, it just got him killed.
Round two. Fight.
Yeah, so right there, he tried to do Lars's forward back to 1 blue bolt. It's a 14 frame launcher. Very good move if you could, if you have the execution to pull it off on block. But okay, so he threw it out in the open, which I'm not gonna lie, I have done that before, but it is heavily minus on block. It is launch punishable on block, but that depends on your opponent if they know that or not. But in that situation, I used Jin's forward 4 as keep out to kind of keep him away, and he ran right into it. So you want to be careful with that move. Don't I wouldn't throw it out like that. Once in a while, but not like that.
Round three. Fight.
Yeah, again, he tried to do 2-1 into something. Just check the motor down forward 1. Yeah, so right here, it's my Lars going against another Lars player.
Round one. Fight.
Okay, okay, this is a big one. This is one it saddens me every time I see a Lars player do this. Do not do forward 1, 2, 3 into stance on block. You will die. I talked about this in my other videos. It is one of the worst things you can do. It will get you killed because there is no evasion in that. There is no if you do that, you're basically asking your opponent to hit you. Do not do that on block. Just use it for combos, strictly combos. Or if you're going to use forward 1, 2, 3, make sure to hold back, because if you don't hold back, Lars is going to transition into stance, and you are going to run right into whatever your opponent wants to throw at you. So do not do forward 1, 2, 3 into stance on block. You will die. Right there, just he's just pressing buttons. If you eat that kick, Lars's dynamic entry 3, I'm pretty sure I'm plus like 11. I'm heavily plus, so he just pressed the button and just died for it.
Round 2. Fight.
So right there, I talked about this in my other video. So Lars's 3+4 in silent entry, it forces crouch and it's neutral on block. It's not plus on block, but technically you are at an advantage because you're standing up and he's crouched. So if he does a while rising move, he's gonna run into the jab, which he did. And if you run into that, that technically counts as a counter hit, which guarantees a heat engager. It's kind of like a basic. It's not a frame trap. It's more of just like a setup it sets up his 1-1-1 or a jab. So he just kind of ate that and just ran into it. Right there, he did Lars's. I think it's his forward 4-1-2-1. I think is what it is. That string, to use that to fight somebody like on block like that is a bad idea. That string is -14 on block. I don't recommend using that against anybody like that. Just if you're gonna use it, maybe use it at the wall for wall damage, but. When you have them like wall splattered or something, but to use it on block like that is a bad idea. I mean, you can delay the last hit, but even still, it's not worth it. And he didn't even try to delay it either. So I would advise not to use that string. It's not the best.
Round 3. Fight.
Yeah, so right here, a lot of Lars players, I've noticed this, they put a lot of faith in Lars's Orbital, but one thing you need to realize is that Lars's Orbital is one of the worst orbitals in the game. Reason being is because it's very slow, it's horrible on whiff, and it's super linear. So it does a lot of damage if you can land it because of those reasons, though, because there's a lot of flaws to it. So don't put so much faith in his orbital. It's not the best. I don't use it like that. It's not my favorite move from him. It's very slow, horrible on whiff. If you whiff this, your opponent has all day to hit you. So just don't put so much faith in his orbital. Yeah, so right here, I just did a series of pokes. I just did down forward 1 and then into sidestep, which is a valid way to get people to overreact, which he did. But the thing is that he reacted in a way that doesn't make the best sense because all I did was down forward 1, which is only -1 on block. And you can definitely move. You still can jab afterwards. It's not that minus. But even so, responding with back 4, which he did, is not the best idea because my down forward 1 still would have beat him even if I did down forward 1 again after that. It still would have beat him, and I would have been plus after that in his face. So back 4 is to fish for a counter hit. Try to use it if you're plus on block, but don't if you're getting attacked like that. It's not the best. You can if you know that your opponent is like minus. Like let's say they do a dick jab, and then they try to do something else. You could get that. You could probably pull that off, but to do that after a down forward 1 doesn't make sense. And also that his back 4 is really linear, as you can see. So I hit him for that. Yeah, so right here he hit me with his heat burst attack, and I disrespected him. The reason I disrespected it though is because and this has been getting a lot of people killed in Tekken 8. If you look at the frame data, heat burst on block or on hit is not that plus. It's only like +1 or 2. Those numbers are not really worth respecting like that. It depends on who you're fighting though, because there are some characters that have really fast heat smashes. Like Jack, for example, his is 10 frames. June's is 13 frames. So them I wouldn't really disrespect, but Lars, his heat smash starts up at 19 frames. So there's when you do a heat burst attack and you hit it, whether you hit it on block or on hit, don't think that it's your turn necessarily. I mean, technically it is, but you're not that plus. I don't. It's, you know. So don't be surprised if you get disrespected.
Round 3. Fight.
So right here, he did Lars's down back 4 into dick jab, his down 1. Definitely not the best thing to do after his down back 4, because if you're gonna mid check somebody to make sure that they don't do anything, just do while crouching down forward 2, which is a counter hit launcher, 15 frames fast. His down back 4 is +5 on hit, and his while crouching down forward 2 is 15 frames. So it's a basic frame trap like Kazuya's 4-4 into down forward 2. It's a basic frame trap. Don't press. If you press, this is how I check you. You could also do while standing 2 down, while standing 2 forward. You could even do while standing 4, which I don't know why you would. There's better mid checks than that. You could sidestep while standing 4. But if you're gonna go for a mid check, just do while crouching down forward 2, or while standing 2 down, or something like that. Don't do a dick jab. That's because you're getting like 5% damage versus a counter hit launcher that you could have got. So definitely, if you're gonna do something like that, definitely cash out on the damage. And the mid is safe too. It's only -8. It's -8 on block, so you're safe. Right here, this large player is a little bit stronger than the rest of them. I think I also seen this guy in my comment section too. So right here, I made a mistake. I did 4-1+2 Arc Blast, but he only jab punished me. You definitely want to do either 4-2-4 or maybe even Lars's 2-1 to guarantee you a mix-up or to get you a guaranteed knockdown. A jab punish that wasn't the best punish in that situation. You could have got way more benefit, way more damage if you did 2-1 or 4-2-4. So right there, that was a great down 4-1 into a sidestep arc blast. I did eat that shit. That was a good move that he did. But the only thing, and you'll see as the video goes on, is that he started to get a little bit obvious with the down 4-1 into sidestep. So I started to check him with back 1. You'll see as the video goes on, because like I was like, oh shit, okay. Like when I got hit by that, I was like, oh damn, all right, he's sidestepping down 4-1. Okay, that's some shit I'd do, you know. So that was a great move from him. But the thing is that I paid attention to it when it happened. So like this is the things that I talk about when you get hit from something, you need to remember how it went down. Like, okay, he did this into this. So if I see him do a down 4-1 again, I'm going to remember that he likes to do this after a down 4-1, you know. So you'll see in a minute, because as the fight goes on, he did 2 things after a down 4-1 in the match. He either sidestepped or he would do a down 1, and you'll see what I mean. But you'll see what I mean. But right there, that was great. That was great. Good move on him. It's not the best combo right there. You could have got a better wall splat than that. But I'd like the use of his the down 2 into the dick jab. That was good. I like that. Okay, so right here he did while sitting 2 down, and then he pressed forward to go into silent entry. The thing is that you don't always want to go forward. Sometimes you just want to back off and just watch what your opponent does, because I did that to him. And you'll see in a minute as the video goes on. Sometimes what I do after while sitting 2 down, I didn't do anything. I wanted to see how he would react to that situation. So, but you don't always want to do while standing 2 down and then go forward, because if you don't, because especially against your own character, because Lars has that, one of the strongest things about Lars is his whiff punishment. Lars has really good range on a lot of his moves, so you don't want to just run into, you don't want to go into stance, dynamic entry stance, and then go forward, because you might run into something like that. You know, Lars is back 3-4, so you don't want to always go from dynamic entry to silent entry. That's not always the best thing to do. Because how I think about it is, dynamic entry in that situation where he goes back, that's more of a defensive position. When you go into silent entry, that's more of an offensive position. You don't want to just be offensive all the time. You don't want to always go from defensive to offensive. You know, sometimes you just want to go defensive, back off, watch what he does, and if he did nothing, you're still safe, you're fine, you reset the neutral. But if you do that, you know, go forward into silent entry, you might eat something you didn't want to eat. So right here, you remember when I said that he either did 2 things when he did down forward 1? He would either do a dick jab or he would do a sidestep. So right here, he did down forward 1 and he tried to sidestep. So in my head, as soon as I saw a down forward 1, I'm like, he's gonna sidestep. You know, so I used back 1 to shut that down. This is what I call like active fighting. You want to watch everything that your opponent is doing and their tendencies, everything, because what your opponent, when you're fighting somebody, what your opponent low-key does is they tell you how to beat them. They show you how to beat them. They do certain things, they do these certain moves. Okay, he likes to do this into this. He likes to move this after this. He likes to do this into this. You know, it shows you, they tell you how to beat them. You just got to listen. You just got to watch. So, like I said before, when he did down forward 1 into Arc Blast prior to what happened prior, I remember that shit. I was like, okay, that shit hurt, but that gave me a lot of information. I'm actively watching what you do. And that's something that you definitely want to be doing as, you know, you play fighting games in general. You want to be paying attention to what's going on. Yeah, so right here, remember what I said about how I just did while standing 2 down and just watched him to see how he react. So you see how here he didn't do anything. He didn't press a button. He kind of backed off. So you remember when I said that silent entry is more of an offensive position, or not position, but move. When you go into silent entry, you want to use silent. And so again, pull information from your opponent. Since he backed off, he's kind of like backing away. He's taking a defensive position. It's like he's like waiting for something, which means that that'll give you room to go into silent entry. But do not get greedy with silent entry. Sometimes you need to back off first and watch and see what they do. You know, if he, like as I'm doing while standing 2 down, I'm watching you. I'm like, did he retaliate? Did he try to move forward on me? Did he do anything? You know, but since I saw him just kind of back off, that tells me that I'm like, okay, I could probably pull off to go into silent entry if I want to, because he's not pressing a button. He's not moving. He's actually watching me and to see what I'm going to do. But I was actually watching him watching me. So it's one of those things where you kind of have to kind of think and like, you know, what is he doing? Like, you know, how is he moving? Did he move forward on me? Like, what is he doing? What's going on? You know? So right here, again, I talked about this with the other guy. Heat Burst is getting a lot of people killed because it's them thinking that they're really plus since you ate the hit or on block or whatever. But people need to realize you are only plus like 1 or 2 at best. You are not that plus. So do not have it in your head that you could do whatever you want. Don't think that it warrants respect, because if you eat a Heat Burst or even if you block it, you're not that advantageous. So he kind of died for that because he thought that he probably was more advantageous than he was, or he saw that I got hit and he thought I wouldn't press a button. But the frames just it's really not worth respecting enough. You can check me because technically it is your turn, but you need to do something fast. You can't do whatever you want in that situation. So right there, that was a very bad whiff on his part. So you remember when I said that dynamic entry is defensive and silent entry is offensive? So right there, what I wanted to do is I wanted to see how he would react again. So I kind of put him in the situation that I did before, the same situation. But I kind of had a feeling that he would do something this time because his back was to the wall. And when your back is to the wall, people tend to panic more. So I didn't do anything. I kind of backed off to see how he would react. And what he reacted with was an orbital to see if he tried to see if the range would catch me. But if I don't do anything, the only time the orbital would have hit if I did press a button, it would have hit me. But I just wanted to see how he would react because his back was to the wall, which he kind of overextended himself, and I whiff punished him with back 3-4. But again, you want to watch your opponent and put them in the same situation that you put them in before. Always watch how they react to something. And I kind of figured that since his back was to the wall, he might overreact a little bit, and he ate that back 3-4, and that finished him off.
Round 3. Fight.
So right here, this is what I was talking about before. He's getting too greedy with silent entry. You need to be able to just back off and be patient when you're in dynamic. You don't always want to go from dynamic to silent, because I mean, what warrants the respect when you do that? You know what I mean? You need to kind of watch what your opponent does. You do have a power crush from that stance, though. I will say that you do utilize the power crush. The power crush I use quite frequently, to be honest. When people try to disrespect silent entry. So you can try to use that. That way, it kind of gives you more room to utilize silent entry, but, you know, because you'll be like, hey, this power crush is here. Like, I got this power crush on me, you know, with silent entry 4, which is the power crush button. It's, you know, absorbs an attack and you kick them across the stage and shit like that. But you need to be willing to throw that move out, because you need to make people respect silent entry. If you don't give me a reason to respect silent entry, I'm not going to respect it. You see what I'm saying? You need to be able to be like, hey, I got this power crush on me. I got that thing on me. You know what I mean? So like, but he never used the power crush. He never used that option. So you need to be able to pull out those tools to stop, to, you know, prevent people or make them think twice about disrespecting your stances. So right here, he did Lars's forward 2-4, his 12 frame punish, which doesn't make that much sense in that situation. Because I mean, I didn't do anything that was minus 12. So this just comes with frame data knowledge, which, you know, that'll only benefit you. That'll help you along the line if you know about it or not. But definitely, I highly recommend to take the time to learn about frame data if you don't know about it. But yeah, I wasn't minus, I wasn't unsafe in that situation. There was no reason to do that. But the thing is that now he's unsafe because his 12 frame punish is minus 12 on block. So when I saw him do Lars's forward 2-4, I was like, okay, he's minus 12 now. So then I did forward 2-1. He did orbital in response to that, which is kind of crazy because that is very, risky to do that. I could have killed you for that, but I mean, hey, it worked. I mean, I did a gimmick and he kicked my ass for that, so good shit on him. Okay, and with this is going to be the last thing I'm going to talk about. So he did down back 4, and he didn't do anything. And if you notice in the video, throughout the video, every time he did down back 4, he never did anything. He never did a mid. He never did while crouching down forward 2. He didn't do while standing 2 down, or even if he did, he didn't do it enough. So if you're gonna do Lars's down back 4, you need to be willing to do a mid to check your opponent. Because me personally, right? So if I'm fighting a Lars player, and if I see you keep doing down back 4 and you don't do anything, I'm not going to respect you. Even though you're +5, right, and I shouldn't press, you need to remind me why I shouldn't press. Because if you don't remind your opponent why you shouldn't press, I'm gonna press. You know what I mean? Like, you need to be able to. Lars is a very gimmicky character. He has a lot of gimmicky stuff. He has a lot of fake shit. But the thing is that you need to remind your opponent, hey, I can make this very real very fast. You know, I can, like, you need to let them know that there's mids that I can threaten you with. You know, but if you keep doing like down back forward into some gimmick or some other thing and you constantly are doing that, I'm not going to respect you for it. Because now you're just telling me that you're just about fake shit. You just keep doing gimmicky stuff. Make sure you remind your opponent, you better stay put or I'm going to make this hurt. You know, so always have that in mind. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes there is room for fake stuff. I do it all the time. But the thing is, the difference with me is that I know how to check you. I know how to keep you in check. If I kick you in the face, I know what I'm going to do after to make sure that you stay in line. You know, so you always want to make sure that you keep your opponent in check. Like, oh, he knows how to check me, and he knows how to mix it up with the fake stuff too. That makes you dangerous. So keep that in mind. If you're gonna do down back forward, throw out a couple of mids after that. Throw out down forward while crouching down forward too. Do while sending two down. You know, then it gives you room for the fake stuff. But don't just always do the fake stuff and never the real stuff, because then who's gonna respect you? I won't. You know, so you need to be able to make sure you remind people why you shouldn't press a button.
この勝負明日につながる